Hi, I am Madhumita. Today we are going to learn about right to health and people's health movement. In this module, we try to understand the right to health approach, trace the evolution of people's health movement, and discuss the articulations and initiatives taken by people's health movement in India.
Right to health approach. In articulating right to health approach, scholars like Paul Farmer, Laura Torino, Lanny Smith, Leslie London argue that this approach has developed as a critique to mainstream approach to human rights as well as mainstream approach to public health. According to these scholars, the mainstream public health approach introduces a kind of orthodoxy by placing health in a narrow framework of cost effectiveness. The propagators of right to health approach generally take Alma Ata Declaration of Primary Health Care as the landmark document in articulating right to health approach. The Alma Ata Declaration of 1978 is considered as a milestone in the history of public health because for the first time it declared health as a fundamental right of the citizens and worldwide social goal. The primary health care approach, which is perceived as a comprehensive approach to health, is taken as the point of departure by right to health advocates. It could be seen that the right-based approach to health integrates three concepts such as universality, equity, and comprehensiveness. The right to health approach is advocated at two levels. Firstly, it argues for right to the determinants of health, such as right to food, water, housing, sanitation, education, and healthy working and living condition. Secondly, the right to health approach also advocates for right to health care, which includes both preventive and curative health services. People's Health Movement. The Alma Ata Conference on Primary Health Care, held in 1978, had put forward the goal to attain health for all by the year 2000. In the context of international health policy making, it was also realized that World Health Organization, under the leadership of Dr. Halfdan Mehler, launched the Health for All campaigning in 1978. This realization has also led many people's organizations of the world to mobilize towards the demand of access to comprehensive primary health care. In May 1998, a group of people from various civil society organizations gathered in Geneva for the annual World Health Assembly and decided to mobilize different groups against the trend of depleting public health condition. This led to the organization of First People's Health Assembly. The People's Health Movement is not an organization in the traditional sense. However, it is a global network which brings together diverse groups of grassroots level activists, health professionals, academics, and civil society organizations from different countries of the world. During the first People's Health Assembly held in Bangladesh, People's Health Movement was founded. Most of the groups joined People's Health Movement by endorsing People's Charter for Health adopted by the first People's Health Assembly. The People's Charter for Health emphasizes on 5 basic principles. Firstly, it asserts that health is a fundamental human right. Secondly, it advocates that the principle of universal comprehensive primary health care, which was endorsed by Alma Ata Declaration, should be the basis for formulating the health-related policies. Thirdly, it argues for encouraging people for holding the governments accountable for the health care of the population and asserts that the governments have fundamental responsibilities to ensure universal health care access to its citizens. Fourthly, the Charter calls for demystification of healthcare, health technologies, including medicines, and emphasizes on participation of people and people's organization in formulation, implementation, and evaluation of health and social policies and programs. Fifthly, it identifies socio-economic inequalities, poverty, and exploitation as the root cause of ill health. Hence, it calls for a drastic change in the political and economic priorities of the countries and emphasizes that equity and sustainable development should be the priority of national and international policy making. The second People's Health Assembly was attended by 1492 delegates from 82 countries around the world. The assembly made calls for action on the part of governments, corporate sector, and international community. The aim of the assembly was to analyze health problems at a global level and to develop strategies to promote health for all. The Right to Health campaigning documents diverse cases of denial of access of healthcare. It organizes local level people's health tribunals, regional public hearings, and argues for universal and comprehensive healthcare system. People's Health Movement in India. The Indian regional circle of the global People's Health Movement is known as Jan Swasthya Abhiyan. Jan Swasthya Abhiyan is a nationwide coalition of different organizations and individuals committed to pursue the aim of the Almata Declaration. The organizations joined Jan Swasthya Abhiyan by endorsing the Indian People's Health Charter, the consensus document that was formulated out of the discussion at Jan Swasthya Sabha held in December 2000 at Calcutta. At Jan Swasthya Sabha held in Calcutta in December 2000, the Indian People's Health Charter was endorsed by the delegates. Subsequently, the Jan Swasthya Abhiyan or People's Health Movement was formally launched in December 2000. Presently, Jan Swasthya Abhiyan consists of over 20 national networks and research groups. Many organizations and individuals joined the movement by endorsing the Indian People's Health Charter. Jan Swasthya Abhiyan launched the Right to Health Care campaigning at the national level in the year 2003 to fight against the deterioration of public health system in India. Subsequently, this campaigning became one of the main agenda of People's Health Movement at the international level. Further, from 23rd to 25th March 2007, Jan Swasthya Abhiyan organized National Health Assembly 2 in order to take stock of the changes in the scenario of public health and also to evaluate the progress of the movement. Jan Swasthya Abhiyan has also played a crucial role in carrying out campaignings on gender issues. It actively involved in campaigning against sex-selective abortion and female feticide, as well as campaigning on violence against women. All these engagements of Jan Swasthya Abhiyan demonstrates its commitment to the issue of equity.
To summarize the arguments, one could argue that the right to health approach has developed as a critique to the mainstream approach to public health as well as the mainstream approach to the human rights. Departing from all these approaches, right to health approach argues that fulfillment of basic human rights is a fundamental human right issue. The module further argues that the social and economic rights needs to be given equal emphasis as the civil and political rights. Such an articulation of health as a fundamental human rights issue could be traced to the Almata conference, where the goal of health for all by 2000 was set during this conference. And People's Health Movement in general and People's Health Movement in India in particular could be seen to be articulating health as a primarily human rights issue. Thank you.